then are saying that they must go to official documents. How do you not know that the people of Siyanqoba are going to only get water in 2030?
So, as I said earlier, that there is a process to make sure that the people of Siyanqoba do get water. And information that has been brought to my attention is that working with Siriti, there is a plant which is about 5,000 or 500 megaliters that is being put in place to make sure that the people of Siyanqoba get water. But what I was avoiding is to come here and be an adventurist and lie. The people of Siyanqoba will get water. They must make sure that on the 29th of May, they wake up to vote for the African National Congress such that they get water.
Okay, so what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now is that I'm going to give each political party, and we start with the timers. We've run out of time, so 30 seconds each for your closing remarks. I'll cut you off as soon as your time is up. So let's start with the clock. Dumiso, 30 seconds.
I encourage all the people of South Africa, in particular those of Mpumalanga, to go out on the 29th of May to vote for the African National Congress, to continue to grow the economy of the province, create jobs, and gender-based violence and crime.
All right, let's move on. Mahiro, sorry.
I also want to urge all eligible voters in South Africa to go all out in their numbers to vote for the EFF, the only vehicle available to push the socialist agenda so that we can usher in socialist government on the 1st of June. Thank you.
Jane?
If you want these criminals called ANC to be locked up, vote for the DA. If you want water out of your tap, vote for the DA. If you want to end load shedding, vote for the DA. If you want to shut corruption down, vote for the DA. If you want to shunt cadre deployment, vote for the DA. If you want employment in this country, vote for the DA.
All right. Your 30 seconds is up. Let's move on then. FF Plus. Werner, your 30-second closing remarks. All right, let's move on to the ACDP. Your closing remarks, your 30-second closing remarks.
Okay. What we can say is, South Africa, we have heard your SOS. We have the answer. It's time for service, order, and safety. Vote for the ACDP. Go here.
All right, Werner.
First step to transformation is removing the selfish, power-hungry government and replace with caring, people-centered government. Government with field Ubuntu, put South Africa first, not our bellies. Vote for ATM on the 29th of May.
Dr. Khumalo.
The people of Mpumalanga, you deserve better, you deserve more. The IFP have a track record of service delivery. We have built a university in the deep rural areas of Kwadlangezo, Ungoye. We have built a Mangosuthu University of Technology in Umlazi. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. Awapuma masela, awapume.
All right, thank you so much. That wraps up our debate here from the Mpumalanga province, Emalahleni Municipality Office. Thank you so much to the ANC, the EFF, the DA, FF Plus, ACDP, ATM, as well as the IFP. From us, thank you so much for joining us. See you again at the next debate, which we will have in KwaZulu-Natal. And it's back to you in studio. Eva Chipa is standing by with your latest news.
Top stories at 2. Multi-billion rand spent on youth development to be accounted for, and weather warning issued for the Western Cape. Good afternoon, I'm Eva Chipa. Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi says the 23 billion rand to be spent on training young people and creating jobs in several different sectors will be properly accounted for to prevent corruption. Nxesi has launched a skills training and entrepreneurship program designed to benefit the youth and ease unemployment in the country. The program will afford unemployment insurance beneficiaries and unemployed youth an opportunity to be integrated into the labour market or start their own business. Nxesi says the Job Opportunities Initiative is expected to run between 12 and 36 months.
We're targeting 2 million beneficiaries over a we are to fund you on this training, also make sure that there is placement which you have negotiated with the employers. So have confirmation letters which are coming from the employers who are going to be able to absorb those there in the placements for at least a year to 2 years. And we have put a number of safeguards, and amongst other things we have said the service providers are held accountable.
The Weather Service has warned of possible inclement weather for the Western Cape in the coming days. The Weather Service has advised that an intense cut-off low pressure system is expected to affect the province from tomorrow until Monday. Spokesperson for the City of Cape Town's Disaster Risk Centre, Charlotte Powell, says they're on standby to deal with any eventuality.
The system could result in black southeasterly wind, possible disruptive rainfall, damaging winds, as well as very cold, wet and windy conditions. The Disaster Risk Management Centre has alerted all relevant city services to be on standby in the event of any potential weather-related impacts.
In other news, the fraud case against former Northern Cape ANC chairperson and parolee John Block and 2 accused has been postponed to July as the defence still waits for documentation from the state. Block and former Northern Cape Public Works head Patience Mukali and Babereki Consulting Engineering Director Tseholeka Mutaung made a brief appearance at the Kimberley Magistrate Court this morning. All 3 face charges of fraud, corruption, money laundering and contravening the Public Finance Management Act regarding a 51 million rand tender awarded in 2003 for the construction of the Provincial Mental Hospital. Corruption Watch says the Free State is worse affected when it comes to employment irregularities. This is contained in the organization's 12th annual corruption report. Among the findings is that government employees in the Free State are often hired in positions they don't qualify for, and the province is among the top 3 most corrupt in the country. University of Free State political expert Situlogo Matebesi.
It is very worrying when you find a province like the Free State, which has been battling a political infighting for many years, also being amongst the top 3 provinces that are being flagged as in terms of corruption. It is really worrying, but I've got huge confidence in the current leadership of the province.
And lastly, looking further afield, exiled opposition groups say Niger's military leader has destroyed all hopes of a return to democracy after he abolished local councils. General Abdourahmane Tiani sacked directly elected mayors and councillors in Niger's 225 communes last night, replacing them with his nominees. The state court will today hear a request to strip the immunity from prosecution of the man he forced from office, Mohamed Bozoum. Since the coup last year, Tiani has pivoted Niger away from its former allies France and the US and built closer ties with Russia. Recapping the top story for this hour, Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi says the 23 billion rand to be spent on training for young people and creating jobs in several different sectors will be properly accounted for to prevent corruption. I'll be back at the bottom of the hour. For SFM News, I'm Eva Chipa.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Masanda wanna trust their creativity to ensure Yanga gets nothing from Mzansi's capital city. But the gentlemen from the east want to leave Kabuyelo in tears. This is the second leg quarter-final battle of the CAF Champions League. Experience Africa's beautiful game, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Young Africans, on Friday 5 April at 8 p.m. Live on SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4. Also available on SABC Plus and SABCSport.com. Hashtag we love it here. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
Channel your inner explorer on Top Travel this Saturday night at 8:30 on S3 as Fez and Anesu follow the river that never finds the sea into Botswana's Okavango, jewel of the Kalahari. Fez comes face to face with his spirit animal, and the best suite in the Delta is a bed beneath the stars on top of a baobab tree. That's Top Travel this Saturday night at 8:30. Repeat Sunday at 1 p.m. on S3.
Ready Steady Cook South Africa. The Thriller Minute Daily Treat is sure to spice up your Monday to Friday menu from Monday 18 March at 7 p.m. If you and someone you know think you're ready and steady to cook along the esteemed chefs on this juicy television show, you can WhatsApp the producers on 068 675 2542. Channel your inner five-star chef with Ready Steady Cook. Weekdays at 7 p.m. only on
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. Leading the conversation. Bridget Masinga is leading the conversation on across South Africa right now. Stay tuned to SAFM.
It is a revolution coming through with Bavenda is the name of this one, and paying an ode to a great legend with this particular remix. That is how we kick off for Friday afternoon right here on The Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga on SAFM, leading the conversation. We got a short time together today on account of the fact that we changed our programming a little bit to accommodate Ubongiwe with the town hall conversations today that were coming to you from Emalahleni, but it's back to business as usual from Monday. It's election season, so on the occasion we might shift our schedules as a station from time to time to take some pertinent developing stories as well as conversations as a build-up to May 29th. And we ask you to bear with us if we upset regular programming here and there. Coming up in this hour of the show, super excited. because we've got two really incredible ladies who are joining me in conversation today. We've got Lyra coming up at 2:30 for Full Access. We haven't caught up with her in a minute, and she's just celebrated her birthday. So we're going to talk about all those incredible things. She's performing as well this weekend, her first performance. It's her comeback performance, so we can't wait to hear all about that. But right now, though, we've got another young lady that also needs no introduction. She is a model, she is an actress, and she is, of course, an advocate. And she is what you'll call the forever Miss Universe. Miss Universe 2019. Zozibini Tunzi, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you? Good to see you as usual.
Good to see you. It's been a minute. I think last time I saw you it was like a dash a few weeks ago. That wasn't really seen.
Not really.
Right?
Good to sit down with you, though.
Absolutely. How are you doing?
Good. I've been well. How have you been?
I've been great. I mean, that well tells us a lot. I've been good. I've been really, really good. And you've been very busy since you've come back home. And resumed life. That is the new normal for you. By the way, what's the new normal for South Africa's Forever Miss Universe?
The new normal is she is the new face brand ambassador of Dark and Lovely. Sub-Saharan Africa. And I've just been going around with this full glow of this new partnership that I love so much. We launched recently. They launched me with a whole new Pro collection that I've been using really for a while and getting into it. A lot of people have noticed that I've started growing my hair.
Yes.
That's been the huge conversation. Have you started growing your hair? I said yes. I think it was time to do it, and being able to do it with Dark and Lovely side by side has been the most incredible journey.
Fantastic. Let me ask you this: as a girl who sort of came into this world with natural hair, and when you change your look, people often have a lot to say.
They do.
Especially when they're like, oh, we took it as a statement. So when you change your look, is there conversation around it? And what are people saying?
Of course, there's conversation because, people are so attached to it. It's the short hair. It's what they know me for. But the same person remains the same. So I always tell people that my stance with my natural hair was to never say women should never look any other way. But that we can look however it is that we choose to look. And I still have my natural hair, by the way. It's just longer.
Me too.
I still have my natural hair. But now it's just so nicer to have a broader conversation about hair with women, whether it's afro, whether you have a weave, whether it's relaxed, which is once again why I loved partnering specifically with this Pro collection that is for women, both natural, women both with relaxer. And I just love how easy it is. It's so difficult to talk about hair and maintaining it. It always feels like a science, and how do I do it? And so being able to do it with this product that just gives me like 5 steps to be able to take care of it has been so easy to talk about and not as daunting as I thought it would be.
Really? I must say the hair conversation is fascinating, and I think it never leaves your orbit, especially when people got to know you because of a particular stance.
Absolutely.
So it will, trust me, 20 years later, it will still be coming
I'm sure
up.
you would know.
You'll still be defending it and saying, my afro is underneath there somewhere, I promise you.
I know.
But hair is such an integral part of African identities and African heritage and who we are. And, we express in so many ways using just our hair. And for me, it's always been a fascinating conversation in the last 6-7 years of radio, because I think a lot of people don't understand the complexities and the intersectional themes that come up when we have a hair conversation as Black women. And not just Black women, because I bundle colored women into this conversation as well. They have similar journeys with their hair.
Yeah, which is why it's so important to have these conversations and to talk about it. I mean, I hate that we politicize hair and that it's always a conversation around Black women's hair. But, it is what it is, where we have to have this conversation so that we're comfortable first amongst ourselves within our hair, and then we can go out and truly communicate what it is. And I think the most important thing is, what do you choose to look like? What is your comfortable? What is your hair story? I think that's the most important thing, rather than forcing people to look at hair in like one view or one type of way. And so it is intricate, like you said. Hair comes in different shapes. Hair comes in different forms. It's never the same thing. I was actually watching a video of someone who had recently, she had afro hair and texturized it a little bit, and she was nervous about it because of how people would receive it and what they would say about her natural hair, and the conversations that were under there of women coming in talking about how difficult it is to take care of hair and how they need to be given a little grace when they step outside of the norm of how it is that they usually look. And so, I think it's very important conversations to have. And once again, I feel like that's why it makes so much sense that I'm here today with Duck and Lovely. And people might ask, why this partnership? Why did you decide to do this? And I tell people because it makes so much sense. My hair has been a part of a huge conversation. I speak about African women all the time and my love for them and my love for hair. And so it just felt like a natural blend for us to come together to speak about African women and to speak about our hair and the challenges that we face with our hair. And so I do love that brand alignment there, that I get to grow with them in this journey and to bring other women into this journey as well, of rediscovering ourselves in our hair and taking better care of our hair. I had a lot of breakage at some point because people didn't know how to take care of my hair. You know how it goes. They don't know how to take care of natural hair. And so just being able to use this collection and seeing my hair growth, because that's what it's specifically for as well, for breakage. That's something a lot of African women go through with our hairlines. And it's just been beautiful to talk about hair, especially in this context with a product that is made by African women, by the way, for African women. You know, there's a lot of women scientists in there who are African who worked on it. So
listen, it's necessary in this day and age, right? By the way, we are live streaming on our social media platforms. So if you do want to get a glimpse of your forever Miss Universe 2019, Zozibini Tunzi is in studio with us. You can absolutely do so on all of our social media platforms, wherever you are. We are at SAFM Radio is where you can catch the live stream. Let's also take it back a little bit. I wanted to find out, because I've never asked you, what shifted for you? You entered Miss SA in 2017.
Yes.
Maps and I often talk about some of the girls that we met and then met in second iterations and what we perceive as the shift that happened for them, right? What shifted for you between 2017 and 2019 when you first entered and ultimately 2 years later when you won?
With the hair conversation or just in general?
As a person? Like coming back in the sort of, I guess, the psychological and mental shift that must happen in order for a girl to ultimately go on and succeed in that particular pageant.
I mean, there were so many different reasons that pushed me to come back. One, when I have my mind on something, I have to absolutely see it through. That's like the first thing. The second one was when I first went, I understood why I didn't make it through or why I didn't win, because I wasn't in the right mindset at that time. I'd been going through so much, especially with school. There was the whole fees must fall thing that was happening. And I'd been, unfortunately, one of the people who weren't able to register and go back to school at that time because of, fees. And so I was going through a lot at that time mentally and just like physically not feeling like I was myself 100%. And so I felt like I owed myself, that chance to come back fully into myself, fully aware of who I am and why I'm there. I think a second thing is I didn't really know why I was there. I was trying to find myself, trying to get myself out of a situation. But the second time around, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew exactly why I was there. And I think the third reason why had to do with community. I love my community so much, where I come from. And when I'd made the semifinals, everyone was just so proud. And I thought to myself, if this is how everyone in my little village is feeling because I'm in the semifinals, imagine how they would feel if I actually won the thing. And so it was just like an amalgamation of so many different things that sent me to come back the second time. But I always just had the drive of coming back.
I love it for you. All right, let's take a quick pause here. Perfect timing, in fact. Let's take a quick pause and then we'll come back and continue our conversation.
Did you know? South Africans consume more water per person per day than the world average. We use approximately 237 litres of water per person per day, while the world average stands at 173 litres of water per person per day. To achieve water for all, each one of us needs to use water sparingly and more efficiently. We can do this by ensuring that we don't waste water. Take 2-minute showers, fix our dripping taps, and use buckets to wash our cars, amongst others. #SaveWater. Every drop counts. This message is brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation.
Miss out on the action? Not a chance. Grab your ticket now to be in it and stand a chance to win the remarkable 131 million rand estimated Powerball jackpot this Friday. Hurry and play now. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old and play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
You're listening to Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
It is the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga, on SAFM, and we're hanging out with Miss South Africa 2019, Miss Universe 2019, as well as humanitarian advocate Zozibini Tunzi joins me in studio as we catch up with her, finding out what's been going on, what else we have to look forward to in her life. By the way, when you enter, a pageant like Miss South African, Miss Universe, you ultimately, as you said, you have your goal, your plan of what it is you desire, right? And then the journey unfolds. And I've often wondered, do you release yourself for the journey to unfold in whichever way it unfolds? Or do you want to maintain control and really sort of chart it the way you mapped it and the way you foresaw it?
For me, I'll speak for myself. Things just went out of control all on their own.
Yeah.
Nothing that happened to me I'd ever imagined that would happen. I already had an idea of what I wanted to do because I just advocate for women all the time, and I knew I wanted to go that direction. But I thought it would be like a normal, Miss South Africa reign, but nothing about it was normal. The minute I won, it just, went in directions that I never imagined it would. South Africans were all... Everyone was in it. It felt like everyone was in it.
Everyone was behind you.
It was nothing I could have ever imagined it would be. And then it became Miss Universe as well, which blew it up even more. And so a part of me just had to let go and let whatever happens, because sometimes we can plan as much as we want, but life is going to ultimately happen how it wants to.
True.
And so a part of it, yes, it was how I planned, because I'd always wanted to be a voice for women and advocate for women. But it came with a whole lot of other things that I just had to let go and let happen.
Yeah. Beautiful things, though, right? Because
Absolutely.
there's beauty in just allowing the universe to flow and you flowing with it. Lyra is a big believer in that.
I was just having a conversation with her really just now, and I'm so excited for all of us. I was telling her we're just so happy to be able to see her back on stage and perform, and that the whole of South Africa is literally just rooting and behind her.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I shed a tear at her birthday.
I know. I'm about to cry now. Let's not do that.
But that's a whole other conversation. And you've done a lot of advocacy work as well, with your work with the UN, with your work with the foundation. And really, that's a big part of your identity.
Yes. Giving back, I feel like, is such an important thing, because we can be in all these big places doing all these big things, but if you're not planting back to the things and to the people that, helped you be a part of this big world and have this huge microphone in front of me for people to listen. It means nothing if I'm not able to plant back and to give back. And so I feel like that's just a huge part of my life, and I feel obliged to do it. It's a purpose, for me, and I continue to do that work as well.
Very necessary work. Then I've got to ask you, just, because it's me and I have to ask these things. We find a lot of people sort of jumping on to the buzzwords now of inclusivity and representation. And I often wonder, as much as things need to be magnified, right? And things need to be sort of
I guess you need to shout out loud. But sometimes I go, well, if the source is not authentic to the cause, then the message gets diluted or the message gets sidetracked, whereas it was intended by those who were real believers like yourself for it to do impact work. And I wonder, do we sort of walk a fine line between when we start diluting things that really matter for clout? Do we walk a fine line of sort of losing the essence of what we're trying to build, particularly as women and specifically as Black women on this continent? Or is it a case of, well, for as long as the message is out there?
You are right. It is an absolute thin line. But honestly, for me, I would rather we push inclusivity as much as we can.
Yeah.
And we put in the front lines people who truly do believe in this inclusivity that we preach about. And so honestly, if I had to choose, I would rather people say it's clout rather than sitting back and not talking about it.
Yeah.
And not bringing forward and including people that have been excluded so much in the past. If I had to pick, I'd definitely say if people are going to say it's for clout, then
right,
rather that than sitting back and not doing anything.
I get you. Okay, let's try a little. I'm unprepared for this rapid fire. I'm just going to put that out there as a disclaimer. The thought just came to my mind right now in the last minute of our conversation, as we are in conversation with Zozibini Tunzi. All right, let's see. Let's go. If you had to have dinner with one person, who would it be?
Rihanna. I love her. She's fabulous, and she also has like a great business ethic. She needs to teach me a lot of things.
Right? Okay. If there was one piece of advice that you would not listen to?
That's a hard one. One piece of advice I would not listen to. When I first came out, there was a whole thing of you're not special, things happen to everyone. I would not take that advice. We are special. I believe in being delusional. Delusion will get you far. Believe that you are special and that you are meant to be at a higher place. And then things will happen for you.
I love it. Okay. And if there was one moment of regret, what would it be?
My moment of regret, I think it would be... Sure, when COVID first happened and I was stuck in my apartment in New York, I let so many negative feelings and negative opinions get in my way of leaning into my crown. And I mean, towards the end, I did get over it, but I wish I'd never let it get to my head as much because I feel like I could have done a little bit more than I did. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Zozibini Tunzi, thank you so much for joining us today. That was Miss Universe, Zozibini Tunzi, joining us for a Friday catch-up. It's just gone 2:30. Eva is standing by with the headline news, and then we'll come back on the other side of this for full access with Lyra.
Thanks, Bridget. Top stories for this hour. Power utility Eskom has announced that load shedding will remain suspended until further notice after 9 consecutive days of no blackouts. Eskom says this is because of sustained generation capacity and adequate emergency reserves. In other news, Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi says the 23 billion rand to be spent on training young people and creating jobs in several different sectors will be properly accounted for to prevent corruption. Nxesi launched a skills training and entrepreneurship program designed to benefit the youth and ease unemployment in the country. And lastly, state prosecutor in the murder trial of Collins Chabani Municipality Mayor Moses Maluleke has told accused number 3 Isaac Mdau that he was one of the masterminds behind the robbery. I'll be back at 3 with more on these and other stories. For SFM News, I'm Eva Chipa.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide.
The city of Cairo will be divided into two when Zamalek SC confronts their modern future. Zamalek strongly believe they are the kings of the city, but Modern Future want to display something special to conquer the Cairo derby. This is the second leg of the CAF Confederation Cup quarterfinal. Catch Zamalek SC versus Modern Future Sunday 7 April at 9 p.m. live on SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4. Also available on SABC Plus and SABCSport.com. Hashtag We Love It Here. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
South Africa is facing an increase in people diagnosed with non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, cancers, hypertension, lung problems, and obesity. This also increases the number of people living with these diseases and mental health.
Many people living with these preventable diseases may not be immediately aware unless they go for health screening and testing.
It is our responsibility to invest in our healthier future through regular physical activity, healthy diets, and avoiding risky health behaviors such as alcohol and tobacco use.
The Department of Health urges people to go for regular health screening for early detection and effective treatment if they are diagnosed with any of these conditions.
This message is brought to you by the National Department of Health.
Last year, the Masked Singer hit South Africa like a storm. This year, the Masked Singer South Africa returns with 16 huge celebrities hidden behind 16 humongous masks. Get ready to be amazed and astonished with brand new masks and performances that are going to blow your mind. Don't miss the biggest television event since Season 1. The Masked Singer South Africa Season 2 premieres on S3 Saturday 6 April at 6:30 p.m.
SAFM Sunrise with Stephen Grootes.
How on earth did sewage end up in drinking water? What happened?
You know that some of our infrastructure is very old. At some times, then the condition becomes poor and it breaks. Because of this infrastructure that is dilapidated, you'd find sewerage leaking. So what is the problem here is that sewage would pond around water networks and then finding its way inside the network.
Madoda Basani, thank you, Chief Director at the Mfuleni Municipality. Very difficult situation then.
SAFM Sunrise with Stephen Grootes, 6 to 9 a.m.
Feeling good is a choice that we all make. And you have made the right choice by tuning in to SAFM. And this is Lira. Love reveals just
It is the gorgeous voice of Lyra coming through. Believer, and this is Jez Works on this particular remix right here. Does it take you back?
Yes. I was so happy to hear this remix.
Yeah.
That I cried before it came out.
Okay. Did you cry because it made you happy, or did you really?
It made me so happy.
Oh,
yeah.
Just like how you make us happy. Welcome, Lyra.
Thank you. Thank you.
She needs no introduction. She's in the business. Singer-songwriter, of course, entertainer and businesswoman. Lyra joins us today. 4 live DVDs later, 6 studio albums later, an autobiography, a movie, an innovator in the world of music. Yeah. And she is back to perform for you live on stage. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I never thought it would happen so quickly. Yeah.
Why, Lyra?
Because I've taken a break from singing because I was recovering from stroke. So I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested. And I took on singing in February to help with my speaking. And singing came so easily to me. So, yeah.
You know, it's weird because you say that you weren't interested, but we were counting down. Every time I'd play a Lyra song, I was counting down to the moment. Literally, anyone who listens to SAFM, because when your stroke happened, I was already here. And every time we'd play your song, I'd be like, the one thing I know about Lyra, a.k.a. Ulerato, is that she's got the spirit of resilience and she's a fighter. Yeah. And we are just counting down to the day she takes on stage. And here you were going, listen, I'm on a health hiatus.
Yes. I was enjoying the break.
Lovely.
I was enjoying it so much. So I didn't want things to put me under pressure. Yeah.
And that's necessary, though, I think, sometimes, right?
Yes. But I'm excited about performing. I'm so excited.
Listen, I'm here for your excitement. We caught a mini. So Lyra had a private birthday party about 3 Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
You didn't say how old you were turning on Instagram, so I'm not going to say it. But she had a birthday party with friends and family. And she performed for us a mini concert.
Yes.
And your voice is back. I mean, you say, but it's back.
It's back. And that surprised me. Because I'm like my old self again. So I haven't felt like myself since the stroke, but I felt when I was singing, I felt like my old self again.
Guys, I don't know how much you know of Lyra, by the way. Like, I'm listening to everything that she's saying, and maybe it's people like myself who put pressure on her. When you talk about you, it's only now that you're beginning to feel like your old self again. I had no doubt that, throughout the entire journey, throughout the last 2 years, that your positive outlook and I was saying to Zozi, the one thing I admire about you is your ability to go with the flow. And to go with the universe. And that brings a lot of acceptance.
Yes.
And so for me, I think it's sort of, when you say you weren't feeling like yourself, I get it on the one hand, and then on the other hand, it also surprises me a little bit. You know what I mean?
But I've changed. A life-altering occasion like the stroke changes you quite a bit. So I welcomed the change. So when I sang, I felt like my old self again. That is the only time I felt true. I felt like myself again. Yeah.
Did you think you were going to sing again, like when the stroke happened?
I knew I was going to sing, but I didn't rush it, and I didn't rush it. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't interested.
That's that acceptance I talk about.
The break showed me a whole lot of life that I was keen for, and I was busy with that. So I knew the singing would come when it eventually decided to come. So I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in the life I saw.
She's the original Shakrahan, I tell you. She's in the building. Lyra is joining us today for Full Access, and we are live streaming on our social media platforms. So if you want to have a look at Lyra, perhaps, you just want to see her in 3D, she's also streaming on her social media platforms. So if you follow her as well, you can catch her there. 086 000 2032 is the number you can call us on, or 061 410 4107 is our WhatsApp line if you'd like to send through a WhatsApp voice note. And let me ask you, you say, you weren't, and I don't know if this has come up in time, because I've thought about it. I think a lot of us, when you go through life-altering situations, some moments bring you closer to God, some moments bring you further away because of everything you're feeling. What did, the event of the stroke do to you? Was there an anger towards God at some point?
No. I was confused, and then when I found out a day later that I had stroke, then I accepted. So you can't argue with what is. So you better accept. So I never felt angry with God. So I saw the stroke as a way for God to quieten my life. So he showed me so much love, and through people, through my family, through my fans, he showed me so much love. I have had a wonderful experience through my stroke recovery.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's so profound to say.
Yes. I have enjoyed it.
Wow. Wow. This is why we love her. And by the way, having met her mom and dad, we happened to be together at Shalati for our birthdays are like a week apart. Hers, her mother's, and mine. And we were in Shalati a few years ago. And we got to hang out because, me, I impose myself on people. And I realized then that you got this positivity and this, I don't know what to call it, this spirit of acceptance from your mom. Your mom is such a dynamic woman. So dynamic.
Oh, I got it from my mom.
That should be a song. You owe her a song. You do. And then you take to stage at your home in the comfort of your friends and your family. What a beautiful day it was. It was such a beautiful day. Did you enjoy it?
I absolutely enjoyed it. And now I have to top that.
You do. And you don't strike me as someone who throws parties willy-nilly.
No. Ever since I have had a stroke, I celebrate my party every year.
Lovely.
No excuse. Because I'm happy to be here, to be alive.
But also, Lyra, I've said it 5 times today already, guys. Lyra, you've been living life. And I think the lesson to take for some of us is, there's always more life to be lived. Because you were always living life. Even during COVID, you made the absolute best of it. You were traveling. You were the third wheel to your parents. You've always lived life. And I think you've just... Now you remind us again, there's more to it.
Yes. And before, I was living my life according to my job. But stroke gave me a whole new life outside my job. And to take a break and enjoy life as it comes, and enjoy my friends and enjoy nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Let me go back to the party, because the party was so much fun. The party was so much fun. She didn't want us to leave. At some point, her backup solar gave way on us because we were just partying too much, and she didn't want anybody to leave her house. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then when you took to the stage for the mini concert, and we were so blessed to have you in concert, I was standing next to one of your mom's friends, and I was getting all teary, and at some point she's like, Bridget, stop crying now. We've cried enough. It's been 2 years of tears. Stop crying. But that moment, and I could see the elation even in you. I could see just the glow and the joy and the happiness even for you. Because music to you and being on stage to you is what?
It reminded me of my love for music. Standing in front of an audience, that brought it back to me. Seeing the smiles on the people's faces. That was priceless, and I look forward to performing for the people at Constitutional Hill on the 25th of May, and I look forward to that. I'm so excited. Yeah.
As you can hear, she's getting all emotional and teary, and rightfully so, because she is a performer at heart and she loves being with you. Let me give you guys the last few moments with Lyra. 086 000 2032 0614104107 is our WhatsApp line. Is it Mpotseng in Joburg? How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Go right ahead. You have like a minute.
Yes! I want to call radio stations, but oh my God, I'm so excited. As soon as the tickets came out, I was on it.
Yes.
I think for me, what I want to kind of relay is, Lyra, you have personal experience. You have healed me through your music. And I'm driving right now, and I'm also teary because just listening to you and now listening to the journey of you having had a stroke, even that's healing. I think there is something incredible every once in a while in our generation, and you are that one thing that comes around from music, right? Music heals, but I think there's something just incredible. I want to say thank you for you. Thank you for the music, and I cannot wait. Oh my God.
Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Mpotseng, thank you so much. Have a great time. Take lots of videos. Let's also go to Washington. How are you doing, Washington?
I'm all right, and you?
I'm good, but go ahead.
Hi.
I'm out of words, Lyra. I can't. I'm so emotional. I'm crying.
Oh.
I just want to say, just be strong.
Yeah.
And believe in God. Everything will be fine.
I do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Port Washington.
Okay, bye.
If you want to send some love, let us know if you're going to be out at Constitution Hill. She is performing there. She's taking to a stage for the first time since her stroke 2 years ago. She's well on the way to recovery and always keeping a positive outlook to life. 0614104107 is our WhatsApp line if you'd like to send through a WhatsApp voice note. In fact, let's go to WhatsApp.
Sawona Bridget nethimba lakho lapho. Uyazi into engiyithanda ngoLyra nje kunazo zonke izinto ukuhlonipha. Hey, uLira uyahlonipha, uhumble. Akayona le celebrity le exuma phezu kwamatafula. Siyabonga uNkulunkulu kwentombi ukuthi usinde. Ngiyabonga.
Good afternoon, Sis Bridget. It's TK from Devon. Lira, wow, I'm very grateful to God for your life, and I was hopeful that you'll come back, and guess what? God had made it possible. I want to thank you, for the precious moments you've given us. I was going through a very traumatic experience of my life, and your song, Let There Be the Light, carried me through. I was waking up with it and sleeping with it. And I just want to tell you that thank you. And let's hope from now on you don't have such scenarios again. And let's hope God guide you with His precious hands. Stay alive, Sissy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that she definitely is. I'm seeing her, and I'm tinting, I'm feeling. She's warm, unekazi, unempilo, she's alive, she's in love, she's in like. Yonkinto ihamba smocha. Yonkinto perfect. And I can, I think I'm not surprised by what people say about you. That part about you where you're just real. You're real and you're genuine, and what our callers calls respect, it's there. And I think if you've never encountered Lira like one-on-one, you know this, you're one of my favorite people in this industry. We don't hang out every single day, we don't see each other every single day, but she's that person where if you see Lira and you ask her how's life, whatever the moment she's in real life, at that moment she gives you the real answer. You're just a genuine human being, man.
Thank you.
And I think that's where the outpouring comes from. So 24th of May, we have a date at Constitution Hill. Yes. You yourself alongside Malay and Nomfundo Mo, is it Gimone? Nomfundo Mo is coming through. Ticketmaster is where the tickets are at if you want to come check out the Baseline Fest with Lira. You were saying at your birthday that there are still some... By the way, can I tell them some of the secrets you shared?
Yes.
So Uti at her birthday, she can't speak vernacular.
I can't speak. I'm practicing.
Okay.
But
Yeah. And was that pre or before stroke? I took it as post-stroke.
Yes.
Post-stroke.
Post-stroke, yeah.
So she can't speak vernacular post-stroke, but she can sing in vernacular.
Yes.
That
surprised me. That surprised me.
Right?
Yeah. So I have trouble enunciating certain words, but I'm practicing through them.
Yeah.
I have trouble now singing Nyazi Fela because it's quick. There are a lot of words. I'm struggling with that, but next month I'll be able to sing that because I practice. Yeah.
You're in for a great show, guys. Yes. You really are in for a great show. She is back. She's in top form. She's going to give you her very all. We are looking forward to it. And we just thank God. We thank God.
And my music is relevant for my journey now. Isn't that interesting?
Nah.
Believer, something inside so strong, let there be light. So my music has taken me through healing right now.
Okay, they're telling me we are going to play Something Inside So Strong by Lira, and that is how we say goodbye to you this afternoon. I love you. I appreciate you. We thank God for your life. And we thank you for coming through for the show today for Full Access. From myself and Lira, I hope we'll see you on the 25th of May. Inshallah, we get to do it again.
The taller I become, the further you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho. Our lives will come tumbling down. Deny my place in time. You squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so bright it will blind you. Because there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist that we're just not good enough. Good enough. When we know better, just look at me in the eyes.
104 to 107 nationwide.
Top stories at 3. Load shedding to remain suspended until further notice. And Sudan's humanitarian crisis described as catastrophic. Good afternoon, I'm Eva Chipa. Power utility Eskom has announced that load shedding will remain suspended until further notice after 9 consecutive days of no load shedding. Eskom says this is because of sustained generation